All right, injury, Ahmad out, his ankle yesterday, so we'll see timeline, but he's in a boot. Aiden or Liam has participated a little bit, a little bit more. He's ramped it up. Not sure of his availability for tomorrow. I guess we'll see how he feels after today's practice to see where he goes tomorrow. And then Hassan is just Hassan's dealing with some physical stuff, knee and a couple other things physically. So he's been limited the last couple of days. So, but he should be good to play without a question. But he's just banged up.
You said that you wanted to win enough while Liam was out to not get demoralized. Have you accomplished that at 3-3?
I think we're teetering. Yeah, I think at least for us, where we want to be. There's been opportunities for us to be in a better position. We've also won some close games that could have gone the other way too. So. It's never, when you're in certain years when you have, that there's teams that could survive the absence of one of your best players. This is a year where, it's just really tough for us to take off the court a first team all league or type of player.
Dan, when you guys were having some growing pains in November and coming out of it, you said you wanted to teach yourself to coach with more joy and patience.
Yeah.
Where are you at with that?
I think I'm in a decent place with that. I think a lot of it just depends on why you lose or how you lose. Did you lose the game because you just don't have quite enough talent? You don't have enough good players? Are you losing the game because you're not playing hard enough? You're not honoring the uniform enough with the urgency level and the pride that you're playing with. So I think it's that becomes like a game by game thing, where by this point in the season, we know where our limitations and vulnerabilities are, and it fluctuates based on how we played, and there were parts of the Butler game and. Probably some of it is, you feel better about some of the, certain players than you do about other players at different points of a year. But I think a lot of it, losing with honor because maybe you just didn't shoot well enough, or you're just not quite good enough, or the other team's just better than you. Or is it an effort issue? Is it a care issue? Is it a heart issue? That's going to destroy any coach that cares a lot.
Is Liam the type of kid who would not be the least bit phased or scared, but in fact would embrace the idea that people expect him to maybe be a savior when he comes back? I mean, you may not want to put that pressure on him, but I'm thinking he's the type of kid who would welcome it.
I mean, Liam's just he's a really good all-around player. It's not like Liam. Helped us in a variety of ways. I mean, we don't need him. We wouldn't need him to come back and drop, 25 points a game and bail us out that way. Just, his presence would take pressure off of, other players right now that are, maybe, starting to wear down or, need another really good player on the court to create some openings and easier things for them. I think that's where he can just getting, another really good offensive player on the court, another guy that could rebound and defend, and has got that swagger. I think we don't really need a savior. We just we just need another really good player on the court.
Is he basically a 50-50 for tomorrow, or more or less?
I mean, I would less likely to play than play.
3 McDonald's All-Americans, has to make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, that was great, right? I mean, that's for us, it's, I think the great thing is, and I've kind of learned this from, just conversations with the people, like the mentors in my life, the Billy Donovans, and, the ones that I go to for guidance, was, sometimes, when you win a lot, sometimes, especially the success we've had the last couple of years, what is it, you gotta keep attracting the right type of people, like your type of people. And I think these guys have, tremendous talent, but they're our type of people too. It's like, they didn't come here just because they thought we had a magic dust that we could sprinkle on them that would get them to the NBA and they're going to win the championship. I think they love how we practice. They love how we compete. They're life or death with basketball. That's how we are. And, so we're excited to get them in here. We need to replenish. We've lost a lot of high-end talent the last couple of years. And, a lot of them are obviously playing in the NBA, so we need the next that next huge crop of guys are going to be early entry.
And poor Jacob Furphy, he only wanted. But what is he going to? Is he a guy that could also step right in and help you out next year?
He's going to compete for it. I mean, he is. He's got a real chance to get on the floor and make an impact because he's. He'd be flirting. He may be on the court this year, just because he's tough and he's smart and he's got great size at guard, and the way we play, fits him perfectly. But I think his spirit and his competitiveness, it's something that we've lost a little bit in the locker room, and he's going to bring that.
Is there something that happened, or is it just the wear and tear from everything you've talked about, the minutes?
Yeah, wear and tear. I think. I think just, just knee soreness and just having to play a lot of minutes and how hard he plays. He's a warrior, so he's giving you everything he's got out there, and every single night, he's not, and he's played through it. I mean, you could see him in the Xavier game. He was, limping a little bit out there and just struggling a little bit physically, but, he'll play hurt. He'll battle for you. He's a UConn man.
Coach, of the reserves that come off the bench, is there one player that you'd love to see have a breakout game?
Well, I'd like to see, I'd like to see Aiden keep going. I think Aiden is, where our season goes is been tied to him from the beginning. I think, what he did at Xavier, at least from an offensive standpoint there, minus the turnovers, just that offensive ability, some threes, making the hard shots from three, and getting to the rim, and just getting us some offense off script there, where he just could go make a play, and just the consistency from Jalen Stewart. He's had these great games. He's had the great game at Villanova where he was awesome. He played great against Creighton, and just want to see him break through with some consistency. Those guys, the sophomores, they want to be where we need them to be real bad, and they're pressing hard right now. They don't want to. Be the reason why we don't stay where we are in the sport, and they're all talented guys, and so a little more consistency there.
Do you not really worry when Alex struggles a little bit, just because you know his character?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. It's part of the growing pains of playing a new role, when you go, you go from, not just a great piece, but like one of the best players on the team with a lot of great players to the guy, and the person that the other team is really locked in on in scouting report. It's it's forcing Alex to to get put into uncomfortable positions and to have to take more difficult shots that he's going to learn to make. He's going to learn to make these more challenging shots that he's got to take as the top guy in the scouting report. And I think that he's got a chance here to use all of that in February and March. Learn to make more difficult, more challenged shots, and then also learn how to carry the burden of having to carry the team. That's a heavy thing, and he's learning, how to carry that load.
When Liam does come back, whether it's tomorrow or whenever, would you expect him to ease his way back in a little bit like he had in the past with other guys, minutes-wise, and
Yeah.
maybe even coming off the bench or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, we're not going to rush him, obviously, in any way, and he's got to feel like he's ready to go. Is a huge part of it too with these guys. Like, how do you feel? Like, are you ready physically to play? But yeah, we brought Steph back slow, and if it was good enough for Steph, if that's the way we want to go, then if it was good enough for Steph to come off the bench for a little while, it would be good enough for any of the guys.
Some of your colorful or energetic moments have kind of become part of a national conversation recently.
Yeah.
Guys like Jay Billis and Seth Wayne, guys you know really well. Just wondering if you try not to pay attention to that, or what you take from it if it does mean something to you.
Yeah, I think people accidentally, somebody, an uncle, a cousin, may like slip up and tell you, hey, did you hear what that jerk said about that type of thing? But I don't listen to, I guess, analysts or the critics. I've got my mentors who I'll check in with and bounce ideas off of, or people that actually watch my games and actually watch them. I'll take advice from people that, for the third time, actually watch them all and have the context of it and know me best. Even my wife Andrea, as little as she knows about basketball. So yeah, my mentors and my wife. This is just part of it. When you are as successful as we've been, this is the type of attention and critiques you get.
Speaking of Andrea, the buttons.
Yeah.
She's running that back this year?
Yeah, so it's back and it's a special night, and just hope hope the fans get here early. It'll be an emotional night, and just thinking about my father-in-law Ken, and just how important he was and is to Andrea and her family and their lives, and how crushing it was for the family, to lose him, and just to have a night to. Celebrate, the loved ones we've all lost to cancer, and then, just try to bring awareness and, just awareness to fighting the disease and doing everything we can to try to eradicate it, because it's crushed so many families and people.
Dan, what have you noticed about DePaul as you've scouted them ahead of this matchup?
Yeah, same thing that we knew the first time. You go on the road and you win at Georgetown, and they had obviously a big lead at Seton Hall, and had the Marquette game at home, but they were positioned to potentially steal. So, it's for the fans, we've needed a awesome home crowds the whole year, and the crowds have come through for us. This is a year where we need them more than ever, energized and in it from the start, because it's not the DePaul that they're accustomed to. Just with Chris and when you bring in guys like Enright, it just changes the whole culture. So any game for us right now that we win is a huge win. It's a great win. Until we get maybe a little bit healthier.
I mean,
Have you had a chance to talk to your dad? Has your dad given you any input in terms of the challenges that you guys have been facing the last, few games or so?
Yeah, I always check in with my dad after every game, and we just talk about the players, and just talk about different basketball ideas and who he'd like to see less of, who he'd like to see more of.
Dan, Solo's been so good. Does he have even another level that he can get to? His shooting has been so impressive this season.
Yeah, I think when Solo, it's a lot of just room for growth as a guard, overall guard play, handling, passing. When he learns to play off of a shot fake and rips with the live dribble, obviously from a defensive standpoint, there's a lot of room for growth there. But it was encouraging to see him on the glass the other day. That's a great sign for him. But he's got a special ability, and excited to see how much better he's going to get.
You've said after winning some huge trophies that you enjoy the work as much as the winning. Because this team has a little more work to do than the two teams previous.
Yeah.
Is this an enjoyable project in some ways for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's you know, it's more enjoyable if, you know, if you're a dominant team. You know, it's when you're, I mean, when, you know, I just think, you know, you're getting, it just brings you back to maybe, you know, I'd say year 3 or parts of year 4, when you're just, your team is human, you know, you've got flaws, you've got vulnerabilities, and, you know, I think, you know, the challenge of coaching every day, the challenge of finding a way to, you know, to play offense or defense more efficiently, and to, you know, develop your players, and to make your team tougher and more together. I mean, you know, that's I mean, that's what you love about coaching, the competing, you know, the life or death urgency that you're going to feel, you know, when you wake up tomorrow morning, or while you can't sleep tonight, and then when when you're on the treadmill tomorrow trying to burn off the anxiety and the, you know, for the game. I mean, that's the part that makes you feel alive. But no, I can't say it's more rewarding.
Coach,
You still on the Peloton?
Yes, tread tomorrow. So on game days, I got to run. You know, the spin is not enough for me on the day of a game. I got to run.
Coach,
The wild horse has got to go run.
I saw Tyrese Martin play the other night against Miami.
Yeah.
You know, what are your thoughts about him? You know, obviously you recruited him at Rhode Island.
Yeah.
He came to UConn. I mean, what do you think about him and what he's been able to do?
Just, you know, couldn't be more proud of him or any of the guys, but specific to his story, you know, obviously under-recruited player, and I think too, to you know, for him to turn himself into a draft pick here and then get cut, and you know, you have to go to the G League and battle and summer league it and grind and earn an opportunity to get on the court and then come through. I'm just so proud of his character, and I'm sure everyone in Allentown, and you know, Randy, his high school coach, and everybody. I mean, it's just he's an awesome guy, man. He's a beautiful man. He really is, and we're all proud of him. Mod's an ankle, I don't know, right or left, but he's suited and booted.
That was during practice, like, is this-
Practice yesterday, so it's been challenging because we've given Haas, you know, the days off too, so we're practicing with 9, so it's been tough. If any of you guys would want a Youssef Taras lineup, one of our teams has been forced into that. Based on what I've seen though, I'll only do it in emergency.